Juventini of the world. I want to use always your beautiful intro, Beppe. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. I'm super pumped for today because we have a lot of things to say.
Yeah, we have a lot of topics to analyze together. And I have to say that, first of all, I watched Roma-Empoli 7-0. I repeat, 7-0. In Italy, we say, Beppe, mamma mia!
In Italy, we also say you go under the table. Huh? 7-0, you go
You
under
have to
the
go
table.
on the... But do you think that Paolo Zanetti will be sacked tonight, or maybe he will continue at Empoli maybe for the next match? Because if I'm right, Empoli will play next week against Inter.
That's the most important thing. That next week they start having points. 1 or 3 they can decide, but next week they need to have a bit of points.
Beppe, let's start.
Rom, wait, question. And I want also the chat to answer. What is better? 1 victory, 7-0, or 7 times 1-0 win?
The second one. The second one.
What do you think, Rom? Is it the start
Second
of Roma? Is it the start of Roma, or?
Of course, to be honest, I would like sometimes to win extra large. 7-0, 8-0, but the most important thing is to win. I have to admit, guys, that I think Empoli, if they will continue in this way, they are going to be relegated. No way. They have to change something because, okay, they have Baldanzi, Fazzini, young players that they become important, maybe also for the national team. But at the moment, they lost Vicario and Parisi, key players.
Yes.
So it's a very difficult situation. And if I'm right, Empoli didn't score so far at the beginning of this league. 0 goals, Pepe. 0.
Mamma mia. But why is Ranocchia not playing? Ranocchia is a good player.
You know, I think, Beppe, that's the wrong destination. Because he needs to play to improve. In my personal opinion, he's already a very good midfielder. And he showed with that in the last month at Monza. But, there were Rovella, Sensi, so it was impossible to play regularly. Then Juventus decided to let him out on loan to Empoli, but he doesn't play there. And if he will not play, I think that in January he will change another team.
You know what makes me laugh? That a lot of people or a lot of teams were on our youth players. They wanted Soulé. Remember, we were speaking about Salernitana. All the teams, they wanted our youth players. They all went to Frosinone. Frosinone is doing fantastic. Another win for Frosinone today.
Then we have to talk about Barrenechea, Mattias Soulé, that today he played an unbelievable match. My personal opinion was the best player of the game.
Yeah, I agree.
But Beppe, yesterday we won, fortunately. So let's start to chat regarding what we have seen yesterday. I think that a very good performance, a solid performance. It was very important after the break to win the first of it, the second match in a row, because unfortunately we didn't win against Bologna, and I think that we watched a very good match.
The big question, of course, is it because Max Allegri always beats Sarri and he knows the teams of Sarri, or is it because really the performance was top?
Allegri knows very well how to hurt Maurizio Sarri. And he showed that in the last season, because we played a beautiful game, 3-0 here in Turin. And I think that yesterday Max was smart enough to understand tactically how to beat them. We working very well with on the left side, on the right side, right balance. Very good in counter-attack yesterday, Juventus. I think that we were so super in that aspect, and we scored again. We suffer, but we wanted to win. And of course, Dusan is playing very well. 4 goals so far, 3 for Federico. Good news, Beppe. Very good news.
But we have a lot of topics to speak about in details about the game. What I preferred was two things. The first one was the reaction after conceding a goal, because last year, probably that reaction, we'd not have seen it. Maybe at the 2-1, scared everyone behind the ball, and basta, we don't play it. Now we used 3 minutes and we scored the 3-1 with Vlahovic, which is, I think, really, really important. And from that moment on, Lazio, they give up. Juventus, they managed the game, and the last minutes after the 3-1 was okay. That was one thing I really liked, and also I liked the way that we entered first half, but also the second half, because we entered in a totally different way. If you're looking at the first 15 minutes of Juventus, again, aggressive, intensity, high pressing, trying also different alternatives, left, right. I really enjoy the game. There are more things that I like, but if I have to take two things, these two really impressed me.
And what about Locatelli performance yesterday? There were some rumors in the last weeks. He's not good enough to play for Juventus. Then he played very well with the national team. What your opinion about what he did yesterday? I think it was very solid too.
If Vlahovic do not score the brace, and a fantastic brace, I think that you have a fight between McKennie, Locatelli to understand who is man of the match. But Locatelli, the player that touched most balls, not enough, but the player that was really touching the ball the most. And usually in the teams of Max Allegri, it's always Danilo, Alex, one of the defenders, the one that is starting to build from the back. Yesterday, it was really the midfielder. And this is what I'm expecting from Locatelli. Not 150 balls a la Pjanic, Sarri, but what he was doing yesterday was great. Pass accuracy, not only sacrificing, but also building for the game. Thinking, vertical, seeing, going on the left, on the right side. Of course, he will need to give consistency to his performances. But this is what I'm expecting from Locatelli at Juventus. And I believe that what we said last week, or I believe it was on Friday on my channel, that game with Italy probably unlocked him a bit, give him a bit of self-esteem. You remember the word?
Do you know who played very well yesterday? Luis Alberto.
Yeah.
He's a world-class player. He scored a beautiful goal, but in the first half, he was alone to try to do something for Lazio. He tried to find the right spaces, good passes. He's a very top midfielder, and yesterday he showed that.
I was a bit surprised that usually when we are playing bigger teams on paper, we are always putting, one of the player man on man. Yesterday, we didn't put someone on Luis Alberto on man. We gave him a bit of freedom between the lines because we were thinking a bit more offensively, and it was not, like Rabiot like last year, Sergei Milinkovic-Savic, and basta. So this is also a beautiful sign.
That's a good question from Matthew. Will West take a starting role from where?
What do you think?
I think that Wes yesterday played a good game.
Yeah.
Because he was part of the all Juventus goal.
3 goals.
3 goals, and he was there. Of course, it's important to play with Wes if you want to push on the left side with Kostic. Because Wes can give you more balance than we are, for example. I think that Timothy, he needs to understand what it means to play for Juventus. He needs to speed up his process, his evolution, but that's normal. That's normal because he started playing for this team just a few months ago. So he has a huge potential. He will show that 100%. During the preseason, he showed that he's good enough to be a bianconero. But right now, I think that Allegri is pushing on McKennie, especially for the tactical aspect.
I agree. I agree on that one. And also, Wea is a really important weapon. Yesterday, he missed that goal in front of the goal. But if you see the switch from going on the left and then Wea enters, we switch the game on the right side, is really dangerous. And a lot of time, I also see him doing this penetration run and being, the second or third striker there. He can be really, really important also from the bench in the beginning of the season. So for me, it's not, like start, don't start with 5 changes. You remember in the time we were always saying that Max Allegri had a really great skill. He was able to do fantastic subs. When he came back, he had difficulties to understand the 5 changes instead of 3. He really had difficulties, but I think that now at the third season, also there, he's growing and understanding when to change which player.
Hello, Romeo. Why do you do your videos in English sometimes, please? Step by step, guys, because now with Beppe, we started this project for a weekly space together. One day here on my YouTube channel, every Thursday on Beppe YouTube official channel. So step by step, we try to improve our production in terms of English content, but we have to be careful because I don't speak English in the right way to manage in the perfect way what I want to put out in terms of content stuff. But I will improve for sure, and step by step we'll do that. Don't worry, guys. Did we find our starting 11 for this part of the season? Thomas, what do you think, Beppe?
Look,
maybe, but we have to consider that during the season you have up and down. Sometimes you need to change. Sometimes you need to play with the same, or at least the same starting 11. But we have to say that from Empoli to Lazio, we played with the same official lineup because yesterday changed just the goalkeeper.
I agree. And a lot of people, they were a bit, mocking and joking the fact that for how much was it? 105, 106 lineups, we always changed it. We also changed now because it was the goalkeeper, but 10 on 10 were the same. And that's what he's saying in his press conference as well. It's difficult for me to make decisions because the players, they really want to show that they are there. They deserve to do it. But continuity in the beginning of the season is important. And, when last year, in that beginning of the season, we had how much? 8 points on 12. The season even before, 2 points on 12. You can see now that he wants a block to do as good as possible in the beginning because we can't be late. We are already late on Inter, so you can't fail. And these are the men that at the moment are giving, I think, the most balance on the team. So don't change just for changing, but between next week and Wednesday, there will be some changes because we will play twice. Sassuolo and Lecce, because Lecce is midweek, so there will be some rotation. Sure,
we'll play our Champions League against Lecce, and of course we have to change something because the most important thing right now is that we don't have issues in terms of injuries players. All available. All available.
At the moment, yes.
We were a little bit scared for what happened with Chiesa during the break, but fortunately it was okay. He worked very well in the last week, and he started.
But also the players, like Dusan, like Chiesa, they were playing nearly 90 minutes. And that's also a beautiful thing.
They are improving. They're improving a lot physically, both.
Rabiot, you remember we launched the topic about the midfield that was not giving a lot.
Yeah.
I saw a midfield with Rabiot and Locatelli in the international break with France and Italy. They gained some minutes. I think it was really important for them.
Yeah. McKennie improved a lot this season. Finally, Dusan found himself. Keep it up. Guys, don't forget what happened last season to Dusan. The pubalgia is a very, very, very bad thing for a player. You can work daily in the right way. You can play often. So don't forget what happened the last season to do so.
Mm, but you see it, huh? How much he's posting. You see that he's happy. You see that he also the message on Instagram is fantastic. Yeah, we
Yeah,
have some bills to. What was it? Abbiamo I conti da. Non ricordo quello che
yeah,
ha
yeah,
messo.
yeah, yeah.
We have some bills to pay. It's just fantastic because they really want to take revenge, and I think that these kinds of messages, Romeo, they are showing a bit that in the locker room there is another communication than what they are saying in front of microphone. In front of microphone, all the players, the coach, they are all cautious. Attenzione, top four, calma. And
Yeah,
then you
of
see the
course.
messages,
You
they
you
are a
have
bit
you have to
different. Huh?
be, in terms of communication, you have to be pragmatic.
Yeah.
Now you have to say, we are Juventus, we want to win every match, we want to be at the top, but of course, don't forget that in the last season we get the first place. Napoli were even better. Lazio were even better. Tomorrow morning, I will publish a video here and I will speak about this topic. In my personal opinion, Juventus are not at the same level of Napoli, Inter, and Milan. But without playing in Europe, we have the chance to work weekly in the right way.
And I believe that's also why they are saying the first step is December. Because in December, maybe, I don't know, Lazio will be fourth and they have no European competition anymore. Milan is a really difficult group in Champions League. Maybe they are fourth, they have no Champions League anymore. That's why I believe that the first target is really to take as much as possible points to arrive at December.
We have to stay there at the Christmas time. We have to be there. We have to compete. We have to try to win as many matches as possible. But we are not the clear favorite to win the title. We have to be honest. Guys, can I ask you one thing? I'm a student for Juventus. Do you think that there is something to change at Juventus Stadium, Juventus organization, or something else? If you want, Beppe, first of all, we can speak about how was yesterday the atmosphere.
Eh,
So
that's
good.
important because I saw you were
Finally,
already posting some videos outside of the stadium.
so good. Finally, the supporter pushed the team. I was crying
It's good, eh?
because I forget this feeling. But yesterday the Curva Sud was hot. There was a beautiful atmosphere.
Oh, I had a question for you
Yeah.
about that because they made the chant for the team, they made the chant for La Curva, they made the chants also for individual people. We know they like Fagioli because he posted a few weeks ago, but what is the origin of why La Curva they like Allegri? I don't know that. I don't know where it comes from. I'm
I
happy,
think
yeah, but why?
I think for his first cycle, for the results that
It's
he
not because
achieved.
he said something one day or I don't know. I really don't
I
know.
think that especially in the last season, Allegri was the totem of the club. And I think that also for the reason Juventus, the Curva Sud has appreciated a lot what
Mm.
Allegri did, said in the last season. But he has a very good relationship with them.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know that I was in Vinovo when Max Allegri started his journey at Juve. And believe me, guys, it was a very tough day for him and for, in general, all Juventus were.
It
But
was.
then, step by step, first season, you win the title, you win the Coppa Italia, you get the final in the Champions League against Barca. And then, of course, is improving his relationship with Juventus support and the Curva Sud. But I think that to answer your question, that it was the last season that it makes the difference in terms of connection right now.
Yeah, because he was there to defend the team in front of the
Yeah,
microphones alone. Um, Great. No, I was happy to hear them sing also to support the coach, and I also Last year, if there was one thing that I didn't appreciate from Max Allegri, I understand the moment and so on, but at a certain moment, he answered a question, about what about the supporters? And he said, I have nothing to say about the supporters, which I didn't really like that sentence because it's not Max Allegri. And yesterday, he speaks about, thanking the tifosi, thanking La Curva, thanking everyone for all the support. I like that. I like the fact that, the club, the manager, they are going again towards.
Beppe, I have a question for you. I watched, I think 2 or 3 days ago, a video here on YouTube by Gianni Balzarini.
Yeah,
And the title of this video was Allegri doesn't smile anymore.
I watched the
Did
video as
you?
well. Yeah,
And watching this video, I said to myself, that's true.
it's true.
Because he changed a lot his communication
But from the first press conference,
from the first
immediately,
press conference this season. And
immediately.
that's true, Beppe.
I always liked Max Allegri that was joking and so on because it's Max Allegri. He always has la battuta facile, the easy joke. But this year, he's there in front of the camera to send a message. Basta. We don't smile. We don't joke. We are
Yeah,
focused.
we are
Also,
just focused on the match, 100%.
yes.
It changed a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Changed a lot his communication.
The attitude, the behavior in press
Yeah,
conference, post
the
conference.
way
Yeah.
he answers the questions.
Then, of course, because Gianni was saying it as well, I think in the beginning of the season, it was really focus. The message I'm showing is there is no margin to joke for the entire world outside of you, but also inside professionalism. But I think as well, the last week when he's saying it's over with off the field topic, and then Bonucci, Pogba, I think at a certain moment also him, he's thinking in his mind, Mama, basta, I just want to work. I just want to do my job. And I think it's not always easy.
No, not at all, especially under pressure at Juventus.
Especially because
Pepe,
he's not a coach like, another one that would look for excuses. He always try to say, this is what we have to do with it. So I can understand it's difficult.
no, it's very difficult. Pepe, I'd love to see some Romeo's Italian live, so alone or even with Pepe or other guys. We'll do that, guys, step by step. We don't have a lot of time, but we try to do everything. Don't worry. Buonasera, ciao Gigi. We are lacking a defender that can play out from the back, alla Bonucci e Chiellini. Cosa ne pensate voi? I have to admit again that yesterday I didn't like the performance by Bremer. He was the worst player at Juventus yesterday.
I agree. Missed in the first half. He's missing 3 passes, but these 3 passes are dangerous. And in the second half,
And they gave the ball to Luis Alberto.
And that's really, really dangerous. Lack of concentration, lack of, I don't know, maybe, I think also, and I think that Max, he knows that. And that's why last year, a lot of time, Locatelli came down to take that ball and to build because he was not able to do it. Now you see, for example, yesterday, Gatti is offering a solution because Gatti is not a player that will build from the back, but he's a player that will take the ball and carry and go up.
Yeah.
And
because he's brave. He's brave.
Yes. McKennie covers him. He goes up with the ball.
Yeah.
You see the difference. And Danilo yesterday, he didn't go too much up. He stayed next to Bremer. Gatti was going up. McKennie paid attention. And Locatelli had the freedom to stay up. Last season, or even in USA, you saw that Locatelli was going down. So I agree. I agree, but we are looking for alternatives.
But Beppe, Bremer, in your personal opinion, will improve during this season, or we have to accept that Bremer is that player?
It's a really difficult question.
Because, Beppe, in my personal opinion right now, I don't know. It's impossible to say Bremer will be a different player at the end of the season. Bremer has to work a lot to improve in some different aspects.
Last year, when we started the season, we started four-man defense. And I was not 100% convinced always, but I said he always played three-man defense. He going in a four, he needs a time to adapt. Then we had new players next to him in a new role, Alexandro and Danilo in a three-man defense, and he started to do a bit better. But even in difficult games, he was in difficulty. Napoli, Atalanta, Monza, where you say, mm, now this year he has no excuses because it's the second year of Juve. They are playing once a week. He should be that leader of the defense. There is not anymore the shadow of Bonucci behind him. Danilo is now a player that he knows really well. They speak the same language. Next to him, you have or Gatti or Alexandro. So it should be much better. And there are no excuses if you are playing in three men, especially for him, because I think that one of the reasons why we are also playing for with three, it's because of Bremer. So he should step up. He's obliged to step up.
Grazie, Andre. Great to hear you guys debate the game. We are here to achieve this goal in English because I know that I have a big audience who don't speak in Italian. So we are trying to put out some content in English. Thanks, Andre, again. Will Juventus buy a big player in January? As asked as no.
No. Even
I
if
want just a player. I want Samardzic.
Yeah, but
too expensive.
They did 0-0. They did yesterday, yeah, right?
Yeah.
No, yeah, 0-0.
Today.
Was it today?
Yeah.
Yeah, against
at
Cagliari.
At lunchtime. He played a good game, but now I think that for him it's important to do another step. Staying playing at Udinese, you can raise up your level at the moment, with all the respect for Udinese.
I don't know what will be the price of Samardzic, but I think it's difficult. Even if I want to add, even if I don't know if it's true or not, but if there will be a capital increase, that money will be to cover the next season finances. It's not money for the mercato. So I don't think there will be some new. Oh, if we have an injury and we are obliged, why not? But without that, I think that that's the team that we want to try to go with. Do you think that they will plan to go for another player?
Maybe for a midfielder, if we lose Pogba. We lose Pogba. We lost Pogba, fortunately, and we lose Pogba. At the moment, then we'll see what will happen in terms of evolution of his case. But it's very tough to say these words to speaking about Paul, because we are in a good moment. We can try to stay there, and maybe we will do that without Paul, and that hurt a lot.
Yeah. Yesterday I saw an image of him. He was at the stadium. I watched him there in the stands. It was really, really sad. I was sad when I saw him there. Should not be.
Yeah. Vlad said Allegri is a master of trolling the media. He knows all their tricks and don't trust anything. Yeah, I can understand your opinion. I have a big experience working with Allegri because 5 years during his first cycle, 3 right now, and but I can tell you that it's a different Allegri, completely different Allegri. Maybe because when you win, you can be more relaxed. You can try to do a joke during the press conference. But I feel that in this season, Allegri wants to show something different.
Yeah.
Because, I think that I don't know at all. I don't know at all if this season will be the last one. But I feel that he wants, maybe, when he will leave, he wants to leave as a winner, not as a loser.
I agree with that.
Do you understand what I mean, Beppe?
Yeah, but for him it's important because, and especially now in this era, we are in an era that whatever you did in the past, it doesn't count. It's only what you did the last moment. And especially, we are criticizing players when they are at the end of their career, and we don't respect anymore what they did in the past. And Allegri knows really well. He took a challenge. if he doesn't win now, I don't know if it's 1 year or 2 years, but if he doesn't win before leaving, he will never be remembered for the 11 trophies that he won with you in 5 years. He will be remembered for the comeback.
Marco, finally we can catch out to your English, Romeo. Please upload a video a day in English. That will usually appreciated. Ciao, grande Rome. Marco, I will try to do that. Right now, I think that the level of my English is not good enough to do that. But work in progress. Work in progress. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. And grande David, thanks for that. Thank you for that you're doing for English speaking Juventini. The decision to release content together after each of our games is a great idea. Thanks, David. Don't forget that every Thursday we are together again at Beppe YouTube channel. Join us. Join us.
Now I'm the partnership is fantastic, guys. And we have 2 hours of contact, 1 hour here, 1 hour there, and it's in totally English. So I think it's a beautiful first step. I'm super happy about how we started.
I agree with you because we are, first of all, big friend. Did you hear about Spinazzola free transfer next year? He's going to be a free agent, Spinazzola. But there we have already 3 big players. We don't need to sign Spinazzola or Nobel.
We don't need, a lot of people, I love Spinazzola, but they have 2 memories of Spinazzola, Atletico Madrid and the beautiful Euro until the injury. But if you go back to the season of Spinazzola to Juve, it's 10 games, and not even always as a starter. I think he played 2 or 3 games as a starter in the 10. He was already a player with a lot of injuries, unfortunately, because he's a fantastic player. And even at Roma, with ups and downs in injury, now he's also going towards the end of the career. It's a pity that it didn't work because I think he really wanted to stay at the top at Juve. It's a pity, but no, it should not be a solution for Juve.
Thuram is better than Samardžić, but the problem is that Thuram is very expensive. We are talking about 15, 60 million euros, I think. And maybe Samardžić is more cheaper.
Yesterday, they beat Paris Saint-Germain 3-2. Paris Saint-Germain is in big difficulty.
As I said 1 month ago, I think that Thuram is a topic for English club, Arabian club. It's very difficult to try to sign him for our league. What's the relationship between Allegri and Giuntoli? I think a good relationship. They are sharing the same target to achieve. This is the most important thing. I asked that. I think during the press conference I had Udinese Juve. I asked that his relationship with Giuntoli, and he answered good relationship with him, with Manna. But that's normal that he say that.
No, but I see no problem at the moment, and you know it. When you're collecting points, when you're starting to improve, when you're seeing some differences, and so on and so on, then everyone is great friends. You see if it's working or not in difficult moments.
Muff, come stai, amico? He was very tired the last press conference. He wasn't. I don't think that he was tired. He was focused.
And he knows also that when he goes into the in the press room, he knows that 75% of the question would have been Bonucci, Pogba, and it's difficult because you have, how many are you, Romeo, journalist? 10, 15?
No, 15.
15 journalists in front of you, and he knows what the journalists will. It's normal. So you need to be really concentrated, because if you say one word, it's going on the paper the day after.
Yeah, no, not in the paper. At goal.com immediately. 1 second. Yeah, because you cover the live. So,
it's true.
But he was not tired. He was focused. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Romeo, due parole su Soulé. We want to open this topic because today I watched Frosinone Sassuolo. I know I'm a single man, and when you are a single man, you can watch these kind of games. And but joking, I was watching this game just for Matti, for Enzo, Caio was on the bench, but Matthias was the best player today of this game. He played very well. He had a huge chance during the first half. He missed it. He needs to kill.
I agree, because there he can score. Huh?
Okay. He has to score.
And it's not the first time, because at Juve that was also one of his problems. Huh?
You know, it was not so easy. It was not so easy because.
But the defender is coming from the back.
Yeah, and it was very close to him. It was difficult. But then he made a beautiful assist for the first goal by Mazzitelli. He hits the post.
Yeah.
He hits the post. And then he did a lot of quality.
But you know what I liked today, but I also saw it 2 weeks ago. I like that in this team, he knows that he's come from Juve. And he's showing a different aura. He's not anymore the next-gen player. He's Soulé that is coming from Juve on loan. And with his body language, he's asking for the ball. He's asking for the ball. He's saying, I'm here. I will solve it. I can do it. And more, they are trusting him to give him the ball. And he's really, really doing well. I was not surprised.
And I know him. With the ball or without the ball, he knows what he has to do.
Yeah.
Always. He knows that he's a technical player. Very high in terms of quality. And for this reason, he knows that he has to do something more. He has to help his teammates, because he's going to be the key player of the Frosinone. And I think that if he will do what I think he will do, a very beautiful season, because I watched 2 games from Mattias, and he was the best against Udinese and the best against Sassuolo. That's not
I agree. So, he entered really well. In the reality of Frosinone, I tell you, with also leadership, because that's what I don't want to see Soulé, the technicality and so on, because I know he has it. He also improved in terms of tacticality, but what I want to see from Soulé is that personality, and this year will be fundamental for the remaining part of his career.
I think sending Caio on loan to Frosinone was a mistake. He just needs to play regularly, and he could have done that in next gen at least until January.
No.
Eusebio Di Francesco has spoken about this topic yesterday, and they said, guys, no rush. Caio was in the last season out for the whole season, so he needs
18 months out.
That's
1 year and a half, because
he didn't play in the guys. He didn't play in the last season. That means that he has to work hard to reach a good level in terms of physical aspect, and then he has to understand how to play the Di Francesco system, because it's not easy at all. Di Francesco with the young players is a teacher, and you need to learn what he wants.
I agree. No, but I think it's really great for Caio, because also mentally, if you put him then with the next gen, it's not the best. Also because the physical condition that you are with the next gen, with Frosinone, with first team, it's the same. So he needs time to come back, to put minutes in the legs, and he will play. Eusebio Di Francesco said it. It's not a mistake. He just arrived for 2 games, so give him time. No, I think it's a correct decision. Also because it's a team that plays. They play. Frosinone, they play. They don't stay all in the back. They want to create. Even if they have to concede goals, they want to create. So I think it's actually maybe a perfect decision.
Matthias has less stress too. Is playing with pleasure and maybe without pressure,
Mm.
or not a big pressure, because when you play for Frosinone is more different than you play for Juventus. That's normal. But don't forget that in the last season he played very good games
Yeah,
with
yeah.
him, and he played against Inter and Napoli.
Napoli.
He was on pressure on Brozovic and Kvaratskhelia.
No,
That
I
was a
agree.
good. That was a good gym for him.
You know what I liked also when he's doing that corner kick and they score, he's going to the stadium.
Yeah,
Andiamo,
yeah.
andiamo. That's la Bolgia Argentina. He loves
Beppe,
this kind of
Beppe.
thing.
But talking about the next season, and it's possible to do that right now. But if you close your eyes, where will you imagine Mattias playing? At Juventus, or maybe Juventus will sell him to get money? Because I think that if Mattias will be a key player for Frosinone during the season,
The
then
value.
his evaluation will be different, because he will say, okay, I did what I did for Frosinone, but now I want to show that I deserve to be considered a high level player.
If we continue to play with the basic formation 3-5-2, forget about Matthias Soulé coming back. Forget. If the plan next year is to maybe think and to build towards a 4-3-3, it could potentially come back. Now it's difficult to say, but don't forget, ragazzi, we didn't sell Vlahovic, we didn't sell Chiesa. We have all our players, the big players, Rabiot and so on. They are here. We saved, but not enough yet. So at a certain moment, the money needs to come from somewhere. I think that after the loan, if he's doing really well, that's a player that can bring you a lot of money.
Beppe, but we say in several different times that maybe was Berardi the right
Mm.
player to try to change the system. I think that we have already this player at home, and of course, Mimmo Berardi has shown that for the Serie A is a top player, and Mattias needs to show everything. But in terms of skills, potential evolution, maybe if Mattias will do important things at Frosinone, we have the opportunity to bet on him and to spend on some different rules. Do you
Oh,
mean?
I prefer to go to Matthias Soulé, a player that I love and I like since he was with the under 19, than to go with Berardi spending money. And you don't know what Berardi would have done. But I agree.
I
Soulé,
prefer I
yeah,
prefer to bet on Soulé than to spend 25 million euros or 40 million euros
I agree. I
to
agree.
sign Berardi. Luca Toni said that Vlahovic will be the top scorer in Serie A. Do you think so too? I hope so. I don't know, but
I hope not. I hope not.
because that means we will not.
You
If
know the
we want
story,
to
yeah?
win the title,
You know the story really well. Huh? The top scorer of you, if the top scorer is Juve,
yeah,
we don't win the Serie A. I
I
hope he's
think
just like one goal less than the top scorer.
I think that maybe the favorite will be Lautaro Martinez.
Mm. Lautaro Martinez and one less Vlahovic, and we win the league, and then I'm happy.
So it's such a pleasure to watch. I agree with
It
you
is.
100%. Marco, Perin should play more often because he's a good as Chelsea. Do you think we have two numbers one?
And at the moment, they played 50-50, 2 games each. So
Beppe, we have a lot of questions regarding Soulé. Guys, do you think that Mati will have a good career at Juventus? I hope so. I hope so because it's a top guy. He's a top
yeah, he
guy.
is.
He's so professional. Don't forget that, guys, when he was very, very young, and when he was a child, he left home to play football, to try to do something important in his life. And that means he knows very well what he wants to do in this business. And I can tell you guys that his family is unbelievable, very, very close to him. Now, His family is with him in Frosinone. And it's a double family because there is also the family, Barnechea family.
It's true. It's true. Yeah,
And
they like to do barbecue. Every weekend when there is sun, they do barbecue. No, it's a nice environment. I said that it's good that they also went with Baranechea. They know each other really well. That will help them even more, especially when it will be a bit more difficult. Oh, what do you think, Rom? Do you think that Sassuolo, they are a bit regretting today because they could have cashed in a lot for Berardi selling to Juve and buying Soulé from Juve after today's performance?
no, I think that Mimmo Berardi will be fundamental to keep the category. But in terms of potential fee, potential move as well, maybe they underestimate is the right word, Soulé.
I think as well. I think as well.
Question for both of you. How much play time do you think Ailing Junior will get this season? That's a very... Allora, when I speak in Italian, because if you keep Kostic, Kostic plays. Kostic is not a young player. Kostic in the last season was one of the best players of the team.
It's true.
And especially right now, with the balance of the right side with McKennie, you can try to be more aggressive there with Kostic and Cambiaso. I don't know how many minutes will get Healing, because there we have 3 big players for just one competition. Choose when we'll play in the Coppa Italia. That's it.
The only chance for Ealing in the beginning of the season would have been that McKennie was not doing well and that Cambiaso was put on the right. Then Ealing had more chances to play on the left. But it will be difficult for Ealing, I believe, this season. I hope he will not be used only, to change the game, because that's a skill that Ealing Jr. has, entering 10 minutes and making the difference in 10 minutes. The problem with Ealing Jr., but you also watched a lot of time the young team. When he was playing with the young team, I was missing in a game consistency of Ealing. Sometimes he was starting well, sometimes not. But 90 minutes in a row with the same performance, I don't remember Ealing Jr. doing that, except of course, a few games. And at Juventus, when you start with Max Allegri, 90 minutes when you're a starter, the first thing that you have to think is balance. I think he's still missing a bit of keeping focus for 90 minutes in a row, doing the double phase.
And his contract will expire in 2025. So you have to understand immediately what you want to do with him.
That's the problem, when you are not playing, Europa League, Conference League. Of course, you don't want to play Conference League when your name is Juve. But I wanted to play it for this, to rotate, for Huijsen, Kenan Yildiz, Ealing Jr., so that these players would have had more minutes. Now, Hans Nicolosi, now it's difficult. You have one game, and that game, it's every single time that you are playing is the final of Champions League, because you can't lose.
Un'opinione personale, avreste preferito che la Juventus acquistasse Frattesi invece del rinnovo di Rabiot? I think that it's easy to translate it. It's better to sign Frattesi from Sassuolo or to keep Rabiot extending his contract. Vai.
Frattesi, fantastic player.
But if you are Allegri, you want to keep Rabiot.
You want to keep Rabiot because, also yesterday, a bit in shadow, but he was important yesterday in the game. I think he played well yesterday, Adrien. Ideally, both of the players. Ideally, like this, it's different. You know what? You know why I would have kept Rabiot? Because you give continuity in a team with a lot of young players. Adding a new phase where you don't know how it will work would have been difficult. But Frattesi is fantastic. Look how he entered yesterday. Mamma mia.
You know that I have just one regret in terms of the last transfer window, Frattesi, because in May, I can tell you 100% that Juventus were very, very interested in signing him. But when understood that there was the clear possibility to keep at least for another season Rabiot, the board decided to do that because with Rabiot it was impossible for us to spend money for Frattesi, and I'm pretty sure that Frattesi will be a vital player for Inter in the future.
Yeah, but they have a great midfield. That they play with Barella, Mkhitaryan, Çalhanoğlu, Frattesi, whoever is playing there in the middle. They have level. They have a really strong midfield, but also the other worlds are doing well. Mamma mia.
Question for both: if Allegri gonna win Scudetto e Coppa Italia, magari, will you still want another coach and restart from zero and not be sure to win immediately, or you will keep Allegri another year? Guys, it's impossible right now to predict the future. But first of all, let's try to win the Scudetto and the Coppa Italia as well. And then I think that it's a matter of motivation. So there are a lot of elements to evaluate in the future. Right now, we have just to be focused day by day, training session by training session, match by match. And as I said at the beginning of this chat, I think that Allegri is very, very focused, 100%.
Then, like Rom said, also pay attention for the motivation, because I think that there is a possibility that Max is thinking if he wins.
Yeah, of course. If I win, I can try to live as a winner.
I live as a winner. I did what I had to do. Now, good luck. Could be,
but right now is unpredictable. This scenario in English. Scenario is the right word.
A scenario, yeah.
Like Italian scenario.
Yeah.
Scenario. I will say always scenario.
Scenario. You don't say
scenario. Miretti is the most important player at the moment at Juventus. He's playing very well. I think that against Lazio, it was solid.
Yeah, it was good. Fagioli a bit behind yet, still.
Right now, see.
Right
now, yes. Rabiot will resign. Will extend his contract.
I think that's what Vlad wants to say. Resign again.
Yeah. Do you think Zidane is possible in the future? Guys, I think that Zidane was the main favorite to replay DD, but DD
he wants to stay, with l'équipe de France.
He wants to stay, and he's doing beautiful things at.
Would you leave as a Didier Deschamps? You have a fantastic generation, a young generation. I don't think you leave. You have fantastic players. You are really strong. You are in an era where, look, or you win the World Cup or you arrive in the final. So also big favorite to win a Euro. You don't leave.
I think that maybe Zidane right now will try to understand what will happen with France during the Euros, with Real Madrid, because Carletto, maybe. I think that there are huge chances that he will be the new coach at Brazil. So, question for both. How much can we save by extending our players' contracts, spread the salary? Yeah, we have to calculate. We'll do that. We'll try to do that in the coming weeks.
Oh, Ram, we have put Vlahovic on the thumbnail, and we spent like only 1 minute on Vlahovic. Can we speak a bit more about Vlahovic?
4 goals in 4 matches.
Yesterday he scores 2 goals with his weak foot, with the right.
That means he's working to improve this aspect.
Yeah.
He scored with the right with the head and with the left foot. Dusan is one of the best number 9 in the world, and without Pubalgia is showing that.
But it's without Pubalgia, but also the movements that are different. He wants to go to the ball because yesterday he's doing. Oh, it's crazy, yeah. Because yesterday he's touching the ball for the kickoff one, and then he doesn't touch the ball anymore until the ball that he's scoring, because that's the second ball
Yesterday
that he's
he
touching.
played as a Trezeguet.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yesterday it was David Trezeguet. He doesn't touch the ball. He doesn't care. He's there, and boom, l'impatto incredibile. No, yesterday was crazy,
Antonio Conte
crazy, crazy.
Italian Stadium. No, I think, guys, that Conte likes to travel around the world watching matches. So,
And
you
then
know,
he's also invited by Juve. Juve will not invite Antonio Conte to put pressure on Allegri. Now it makes no sense.
guys, don't forget that he lives in Turin. So
Also,
sometimes he goes to watch Torino as well. Sometimes he goes to San Siro. So, no.
who else this weekend impressed you? We spoke about Inter. Milan, was it overrated, or you think it's just a bad night for them?
They are with Pioli in a bad moment in terms of derby because they lost 5 derbies in a row. And i Milanisti, Beppe, they are incazzati.
They are.
Ma tanto,
But why?
You know.
Why? Last week.
Yes, Beppe, yesterday was historical defeat.
I know. A 5-1 is huge,
Huge.
huge. And also how? Because yesterday they were stupid, huh? Okay, you don't have Tomori, but if you're taking all these risks with the defense going up against Inter, then you're asking
Beppe,
you're asking for
Beppe,
that. Huh?
yesterday, if you play 10 minutes more, you lose.
Yeah.
But guys, be careful because I think that AC Milan are a very good team. They will show you that. Then they have the opportunity to restart immediately playing against Newcastle. So, but Inter in this start, they are very strong. They are very strong because they have a lot of short solutions. They have experienced players like Mkhitaryan, Acerbi. They want to show they deserve to be there. Yesterday, Mkhitaryan scored a brace.
And the assist that he's doing is, for me, more better than the goal that he scores.
Because he understands that with Fratesi, you need to play at high level to keep your place as a starter.
It's true.
But no, Inter, they won 4 matches in a row, and so far they are pushing a lot. We must be there, guys. We must be there. No rush without. Yeah, of course, if you are Juventus, you are always under pressure, but in a pragmatic way. We have to be realistic. And our target is to play in the next Champions League. That's it, guys. Then, if we be able to compete for the Scudetto, bene.
Well, the question from Thomas was really, really great. Kostic and Chiesa, can they play together, or they are limiting themselves? That was a really good question, because yesterday in the beginning of the game, Chiesa was again starting really there on the left, double position with Kostic. Then it was better, but in the beginning,
with Kostic, I think that Chiesa needs to play more in the center, because Kostic likes to go on the left side to push on that, and maybe with Cambiaso in the center, you can go on the left side.
But I think it's more a work that he needs to do, going more on the right side or more central. But he's working on it, because you see that the movements are there. And I think the fact that he's scoring goal after goal after goal is convincing him more and more that centrally he can be even better.
His Chelsea regret. Yeah.
Ronaldo changed position. A lot of players made that change, and they had even better careers.
Beppe, the last question, and we'll go to sleep or watching a movie on Netflix.
Oh,
Roberto,
watch, if you have the possibility, before the question. I don't know if you like anime or whatever, but the series One Piece on Netflix.
One Piece on Netflix.
Fantastic.
We'll do that.
Fantastic.
Is Chelsea regretting not giving Juventus what they wanted for Vlahovic? So, as I said during the transfer window, the last transfer window, in my personal opinion, Chelsea was the bad choice for Vlahovic because today I think that they draw against Bournemouth. I'm right, maybe. They have a poor table right now. They will not compete for the title. They are trying to build a new project. So I could understand if we were talking about Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain, Liverpool, Arsenal. But in my personal opinion, by Vlahovic side, between Chelsea and Juventus, the best choice was to stay here. Unfortunately, it happened.
I agree. No, and then it's not about they regret, they don't regret. I think they have really problems. I don't even know if Pochettino is the right man for them. Huh? Do you think he finished the season with Chelsea, Pochettino?
Maybe yes, because I think that they signed a very long term
Yeah.
project, and they are changing a lot because they've sell Havertz, Ziyech, Lukaku, Mason Mount, so a lot of players, Koulibaly, but it's not easy, especially there, because the Premier League is the toughest league in the world to be competitive for the title or to be competitive to get a place in the top four.
True.
But yeah, I think that maybe they will regret that. But fortunately, we have Dusan Vlahovic, and we are very happy to keep him for a long time. We hope so. Beppe, it's time to go to sleep because then I will make a lot of mistakes talking in English, and tomorrow will be
you're doing well. You're doing well. You're doing really well.
tomorrow will be a very beautiful day, Beppe, because in the afternoon I will be in Vinovo to watch Juventus Empoli, our Primavera, because of course our coach is Paulo Montero. Do you know who is the coach of Empoli Primavera?
No, I don't know.
Alessandro Birindelli.
Oh,
They played together.
yeah,
They
of
are
course.
very, very friends. And tomorrow I will go there because it's a good story.
And probably you will see also Pessotto because Pessotto is always around.
Always.
Oh, you will see nearly the starting 11 of the Champions League. That's beautiful, huh?
Yeah, but if we say Pessotto, we say Juventus.
Hey.
Beppe, it was a big pleasure.
Was a pleasure for me, Rom. We see each other Thursday.
Thursday. Good night, guys.
Ciao.